What's good, family? Smash the like button and subscribe. Oh no. Oh no. Your boy, Doe IB, has received some clandestine information, some deep state information from one of his sleeper cells, this time within the Tyson theory camp. Man, you cats out there, there was a few dons still. YB, mate, when are you going to apologise? This fight's on, mate. This fight's on, mate. That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying. YB, mate, your sleeper cells, you've made it all up. You haven't got sleeper cells in all the different camps. That's what they were saying. That's what I'm telling you, man. Last week, what the narrative was. YB don't have no sleeper cells, they said. Yeah? That's what they were saying. Next thing you know, Fish Eyes comes out. Boom. Boom. Well, I don't think it can happen. All that other stuff he said yesterday. Boom. Today, Bob Arum comes out. Ain't heard a lick from Eddie in a week. Etc, etc. But let me not be brief on this one. Let me not be brief on this one. Let me give you, man, the drop right now. So, I'm gonna read to you, man, some quotes from Bob, 90-year-old Arum. He said the following. Arum now suggests the fight could be well slipping away and that a trilogy bout with Wilder could be next for Theory. In quotes, maybe we'll breathe some life into the Deontay Wilder and Theory trilogy. And Joshua will fight his WBO mandatory challenger, Alexander Usyk, said Arum to Boxing Scene. Eddie Hearn is busy trying to sell London... Eddie Hearn is busy trying to sell the London Bridge, Arum said. Let me tell you, last time I talked to Eddie... Bob Arum's out of order, man. You know what all these cats are, yeah? All these cats are out of order. Fish Eyes, out of order. Bob Arum, out of order. Eddie Hearn running around doing the most, and these cats just stay hating, thinking of new jokes to crack. It's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable. You'd think that these cats had nothing to do. You'd think that these cats were like some... The way that Bob Arum and Fish Eyes are acting, it's as if Eddie Hearn has signed the largest fight in the world, but they're not involved in it. That's how they're acting. They're acting bitter, negative Nelly, which is normal for them, but it's normal for them when they're not associated with it. We can all understand why Fish Eyes and Bob Arum are bitter, are seething, when Eddie Hearn's doing some big business, the biggest business, but they're not involved. I think these cats must have lost a memo somewhere. You're in on this one. This one's good for you. It's good for you that Eddie and Hearn doing the most and trying to get this locked in. But somewhere down the line, they ain't received the memo. These dons, I don't know what it is. Maybe they're getting old. Brick Top looking a little old recently. Bob Arum, old as you like. That's the only thing I can think of. Because something ain't adding up. Anyway, where was we? So yeah, Eddie Hearn is busy trying to sell the London Bridge, Arum said. Let me tell you, last time I talked to Eddie was early last week, and he said he was going to have a signed agreement from the Saudis in 24 hours. Well, he's a little late. Wouldn't you be pessimistic if you haven't heard from him or anybody for a week? We're the promoter with Frank Warren of Fury, and we haven't heard from Eddie in a week. Boom. So you heard the explosive quotes from Bob Arum there. Now, what I do find interesting is Fish Eyes was saying a similar line of talk yesterday, and I reported on that. Fish Eyes was saying, yeah, we ain't heard from Eddie. But what do we know? Who brought you, man, the exclusive drop on this information? The YB did. The YB told you, listen, this may not be as negative as it looks, because I've got a feeling Fast Car is doing a job on Sky. I've got a feeling Fast Car is doing a good cuckery job on Sky. I told you, man, before. Just in case you missed that one. I believe Eddie Hearn has put Sky in the cuck cupboard with a peephole in. That's where Sky are right now, in my opinion. I believe Eddie Hearn, yes, the fight AJ and Fury may happen, But the reason it's taking so long, the reason Bob isn't hearing, the reason Bob and Fish Eyes have been told, yeah, well, you're going to get the contract soon, and it hasn't come through, not because Eddie's suddenly incompetent, but instead because he's trying to finesse Sky. We know that at this point in time, it's nearly May now, and Eddie's contract ends in the end of June. Is it possible he's trying to do some sort of structure where he drags out this date business so it enables him to give the AJ and Fury fight solely to DAZN? Because at the moment, in April, if it was to be signed, his fiduciary duty is to Sky. Come July 1st, or whatever, I'm not sure the actual date. It may be before July 1st. I don't know how it works legally speaking, but my point is, given that it's taken, we're now 5 months in, it just seems messy to me. It don't make no sense. Eddie Hearn's never been this messy. It's never been, and yeah, he can tell the fans, and he can tell Adam Smith, well, you know, it's C19, and well, you know, this is the biggest fight ever. Yeah, you can tell them man that, but you can't tell the YB that. I don't care what fight it is. This is looking sloppy, and I don't believe, for me, yeah, when things look sloppy, there's always an explanation. I don't believe Eddie Hearn just suddenly turned a little sloppy on us. I believe that there's something else going on behind closed doors. He's trying to drag this out and not get it done until he can lock it in for DAZN. Because there's no way it takes 5 months to get one offer, is it? Come on, let's talk Turkey now. Why is it taking 5 months? This would have been locked up in a month. Max, you ring Saudi on the Monday. The first day of the 28 days, you ring them. Boom. Well, you ring everyone. You send an email out. Who wants this? They get back to you by the Wednesday. How long does it take? You know what I'm saying? How long does it take? It don't take 5 months, that's for sure. And the only way it does take 5 months is if Eddie's been happy for it to go real slow. I believe Eddie would have known for 6 months to a year that he's going to DAZN, and therefore he's gonna have been incentivized for this to drag out as long as possible. I could be wrong. Maybe it will go to Sky, in which case I'm wrong, and in which case Eddie Hearn just suddenly turns sloppy. But I've never heard of anyone say that Eddie Hearn's been incompetent in his career. And now all of a sudden we're hearing, oh, well, he's promised this and hasn't delivered that. Nah, man, I don't believe it. Oh, unless, maybe behind closed doors, there are things, maybe Eddie Hearn is struggling to get the money from Saudi or whatever. He's struggling to get some sort of commitment from Saudi. And he's really trying to work things out somehow. But I don't know, that don't fit right with me. Because I think if Eddie was struggling to get done with Saudi, I do believe he'd just say that to them, man. Does that make sense? I believe if Eddie Hearn was struggling to get some sort of, to get over the finishing line with Saudi, I think he'd say to Fish Eyes and Warren, you know what, I'm kind of struggling. Please give me another week. I don't know why he'd say, oh yeah, it's going to be done, and it not be done. I guess you could argue, well, of course he's going to say that because he wants to get the fight done and he doesn't want them throwing their toys out the pram. But what's that? From Eddie's point of view, at that point, if you're trying to do something, yeah, and you've got to just lie to people to keep them interested, they don't even want it anyway, do they? So I don't know. And again, it's getting sad now. We're now more or less 2.5 weeks since the 28-day deadline, and we're still none the wiser. But I'm glad, one thing I do rate about the YB, I am glad I didn't jump the gun, because there was enough man, a whole bag of man, telling the YB, mate, you need to apologise, mate. The fight's on, mate. The fight's locked in, mate. I told you, but listen, it's not over till the big bubbly lady sings. Because the problem with a lot of these casual dons, they don't, too busy trying to jump the gun. All in the video, trying to get the exclusive drop. Oh, it's on, it's locked in. They're not locked in. Bob Arum hating, and now we've had this other narrative thrown in there of, oh, we may fight Wilder. And what worries me about that? What worries me about the narrative of we may fight Wilder is the fact that what do we know? It was only a month ago. When Fury was saying, oh, I'm knackered and I'm mentally broken, and the thought of fighting AJ gives me sleepless nights. Oh, and I'm probably just going to fight Wilder. The odds are I'm going to end up fighting Wilder anyway. The fact that was put out there, and now we've got Bob Arum a month later saying, oh, you know what, you're probably going to fight Wilder. We made us move on to Wilder. That worries me, because what do we know? For the last 2-3 months, I've been telling you, I've got a theory, that Theory and his man have had a plan all along. To tell the fans, yeah, it's going to be AJ, but really, they've got another plan going on behind closed doors. And again, one of the key factors implying that Fury's got another plan, a clandestine plan going on behind closed doors, has been the confluence between his team. Don't forget that for the longest time, him, his team, John, Fury, everyone was saying the same thing. Oh, it's not going to happen C19. That's odd. It's odd for me when 4 independent men all saying exactly the same thing. And then now, a month later, when it looked as if, publicly speaking at least, we were making progress, we've got a few of the people now saying the same thing again. Oh, it's going to be Wilder. Fish Eyes Bob Arum. Oh, we haven't heard from Eddie. It could be maybe they haven't heard from Eddie. Maybe it is genuinely looking bad and they're thinking about doing Wilder. Or they've known this all along. And really, I haven't seen much positive out of any of Fury's team. Yes, when they were under pressure. Yes, when Eddie Hearn exposed them, there was a few interviews put out where they tried to, oh no, we do, yeah, of course we want it. Yeah. But then really, that cover didn't last long, because then about a week later, we're hearing Fish Eyes now saying, you know what, we haven't heard from Eddie. He hasn't sent us anything through. And now you've got Bob Arum doing the same. Oh, you know what, probably going to be Wilder next. So all in all, it's a messy situation. And I'm glad, at this particular point in time, I'm glad I didn't jump the gun. Because all in all, I'm back to 50-50 again. There was a point in time about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I thought, well, you know what, I'm probably 80-90% sure it's going to happen. And now I'm back to 50-50. Because in what planet do they want to get the Wilder fight done? What is that? Do you understand? What is that? Oh, we want to get the Wilder fight done now. How come we've never heard them say, well, yes, we want to get the AJ fight done? I've never heard it. Genuinely. I've never heard it. I've never heard them. Why are they able to have so much confidence in getting that fight done? Yeah, oh, you know what? We made us move on and pump some life into Wilder. It's a shame we didn't pump any life into the AJ bits, because maybe we would have been able to get stuff done, no? And again, another piece of information. Your boy the YB exclusively reported it again from one of his sleeper cells within the AJ camp. What do we know? Boom. AJ and Theory will now, or if it even does happen, it's only going to be a 1-fight deal. That there's another shocker.com. Only a 1-fight deal? So we're losing bits and bobs. We're not even, or Fury's team not even sure it's going to happen. Oh, and if it even does happen, it's only going to be 1 fight. Oh man, it's looking messy. Oh, and by the way, we want to fight Wilder next. Nah, man, this is looking sus right now. This is looking susp. Yeah, 100%. It's looking messy. It's looking susp. So we're gonna find. Oh, I've been telling you, man, for about 2 weeks. We're gonna find out. But hopefully one day, hopefully before 2022, we're gonna find out what's going on with this fight. Because it's long for man right now. Truly long.